And I think the only other note in response to Mr. Wilson's question with regard to the boardwalk update, as you know, in synopsis, we did have the money. The money was appropriated at town meeting. We went out to bid. We had 12 bids and picked the low bidder. The low bidder was qualified by the building committee. We've had some meetings with him. We have the DEP permit. We have the Army Corps of Engineer permit. We're waiting on the Amtrak permit.
I've told everyone that it's the Amtrak issue, and so I'm not wrong with that, right?
You are not.
That's what I told zoning as well.
And I don't know what else to tell anybody. I'm exhausted about telling people about the Amtrak deal, so I don't know.
So what we did was we had a meeting here we finally got some upper level Amtrak personnel here, and we had a presentation on this screen from the contractor who won the bid, and was very detailed about the type of equipment that we're going to use, how they were going to install the steel bulkhead, which Amtrak rightfully had some concerns regarding picking up those steel panels 8 feet by 24 or 30 feet and maybe having them swing into or get blown away from the contractor into the path of a train or onto the track, or even spit some things on there. So the Amtrak officials were very pleased with the quality of the presentation. Congressman Courtney's office participated in that and has been very helpful with regard to helping push Amtrak into making a speedier decision. Then we once we had some conversation, we talked about the fact that Amtrak's permit falls within their jurisdiction if any work is done within 25 feet of the track. And there are many of the areas that this steel bulkhead goes in that are outside the 25 feet. So they're in the process now of determining what is the level of permit that is required. And I got notification they were going to send us a formal request for that presentation that I just spoke about from the contractor and for some of the other items of information that we provided them that evening. Instead of waiting for that formal request to come, I directed our town engineer to work with the contractor to prepare that, and we have sent the upgraded plans to Philadelphia to the engineering department. We have sent the information that they requested with regard to the meets and bounds of the contractor's job on the boardwalk, and that is now sitting safely in Amtrak's hands, and we're waiting for them to make a decision. We have March, April. We have probably 3 or 4 more weeks for the contractor is required to hold his price for 90 days, and we have been told that Amtrak is going to make their decision prior to that. We cannot award the contract, therefore cannot buy the steel until we get the Amtrak permit. And one of the things that we're concerned about, if steel rises a penny or 2 cents per pound, it might offset any of the savings that we have there. So at the Coast Guard groundbreaking for the museum, both Senators Murphy and Blumenthal were there, Congressman Courtney was there, and I took the opportunity to thank them for their previous help, but also to remind them that we could use further assistance in helping Amtrak make their decision on a more timely basis. And they all promised that they would do that, so that's kind of where we are. We're kind of in limbo, but everything is done except for the Amtrak permit, and as soon as we get that, we're ready to go, and it will take 30 or 45 days to
Ramp up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, because that's it comes up all the time. So thank you very much for the update.
And I am told one thing you can share is this Mr. Richter, who is a senior vice president for Amtrak, and also is I'm sure I don't have his title right, but he is the senior engineer for the Northeast
Corridor or something.
And so he is the decision maker with regard to this project, and he was here and he was here actually the day before the meeting and saw the boardwalk then, and went out the morning of with some of our staff, I believe, and so he's well versed to make the decision. So we have it in the right hands, and I'm trusting that Senator Blumenthal's office, who he's a chairman on a very influential committee that Amtrak has to respond to. So he seems to get things done, and Congressman Courtney and Jenny Contois have been working with us on this since the beginning, and have been very diligent in trying to help the town. So I'm very grateful for all of their support. So we'll keep moving it and see where we go.
Yeah.
And that's my
All right,
report.
thank you.
I have a couple of requests for the next agenda. We got on the table this evening, the Board of Finance, the proposed cuts. They're very general so that we don't know exactly what is being eliminated in each of the departments. And I would like to make sure that these items would be itemized at the town meeting, either in your presentation or the chairman of the Board of Finance, so the public knows what they're voting on when it comes to the referendum. In other words, we see here $20,000 cut from Public Works, but who knows the impact of that, what's being cut?
Yeah, that was from the SCARA tipping fee, so you want that detail.
I'm suggesting that perhaps some of the bigger ticket items, $26,500 from Public Safety, you know, what are they going to lose? I mean, I have some ideas as to what's in here, but I'm not sure that the general public does.
Well,
And I-
remember that the Board of Finance has asked us to make those cuts, and I made those cuts in conjunction with the department heads. Those were cuts that they recommended from line items that they thought could be handled. I'm happy to provide you that information.
I'm not questioning the cuts. I'm suggesting that the public should know, and asking if you would include those in your remarks, as you usually make remarks at the town meeting.
Right.
And if you wanted to have the chairman of the Board of Finance do some of that, I think that would be up to you, but I think the public should have the information when they go to the referendum so they know what they're voting on.
I'd be happy to provide that
And
information.
hopefully we'd get some support. I would like to have the water and sewer budget on the next agenda and ask for a brief presentation.
Okay?
And again, we have a lot of people that view our programs, though unfortunately tonight it's not live. But again, I think
It may be live out of the dispatch. It is?
Yeah.
Bob says
Okay.
it is, so it's just something with this TV. It's not on our TV.
And again, information for the public as well as for
Yeah.
us. And then finally, I would like an update on regionalization. And all of the newspaper articles so far have made it sound like it's a done deal that it's the three towns.
Regionalization
of
dispatch?
Dispatch.
Okay.
And when we began this process, we were to be looking at the possibility of joining with Montville or a couple of other districts, and there hasn't been any mention of that. So I would
You want
ask
an
that
update
we,
on,
I would ask that we be updated on
Yeah.
that.
I thought you did update us on the Montville. They had their own thing going.
yeah.
No, I thought you did bring that.
But I'll update everything again as to
Okay.
where we are. It's a moving part. I actually had the financial implications just finished yesterday with regard to what will happen in year 1, 2, and 3 and what we'll need, so.
Did the Senate vote on that? The House voted to allow.
The session ends at 12 o'clock today, midnight, and I believe that the House voted on our change of language is what
Right.
you're talking about.
Yes, correct.
I believe the Senate is taking that up today.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And then, as part of Selectmen's response, Mr. Sawicki has come twice now and asked for, it's kind of, he didn't really ask, he kind of insinuated that he would be willing to sell his property to the town of East Lyme for $250,000. I did witness those emails back and forth between DEP and Mr. Sawicki. He shared some of that. I didn't have anything to really share with him. DEP seemed to share that stuff with him. Do you want to put his request for us to purchase this on a future agenda, or do you want me to write him a letter and say that if he, we'd be happy to give him time if he wants to make a presentation in terms of providing us with a lot size and area and location, and or do we just want to not go forward? Or what is the consensus of the board here?
Would it be appropriate for him to go to the Commission on Natural Resources, which deals with open space, and make a presentation there, and then they make a recommendation to us?
We could suggest that avenue.
Well-
They have no standing to do anything other than, a general recommendation, but,
Except for the fact that we've listened to him, maybe 3 times now?
Yeah.
And I can't make heads or tails what he's even talking about. So,
Well, we don't know the property.
in the long term, you know what I'm saying? We don't see anything, you can't tell anything.
Yeah, we need a
Maybe-
presentation. I don't
Maybe
know how big the lot
he ought
is.
to go to them, and they could maybe get the best out of him, and then they could bring it to us and make some sense out of it, because I personally can't do it.
He mentioned wetlands. I mean, are we buying swamp?
I have no idea.
I don't either. I don't know. It might be a steal at $250, and it might be a whole lot of money per acre at $250,000.
Why?
you remind me to write a letter, Mr. Susan.
It's, well,
All right. Any other selectmen response?
I think I probably did the best I could.
Is there any public comment?
I'll offline. I'll talk to you about the New Jersey property thing. No, I won't shun that. I won't know much about New Jersey law,
It's
but I
not the,
can
not
fill
the,
you in.
not the bridge traffic.
It's not Bridgegate.
All right.
No.
Single-handedly you did that? That's awesome.
It's garage
Hearing,
gate.
hearing no comments from the audience.
Move to
Again,
adjourn.
Thank you all
Move
very
to
much.
adjourn.
Second.
Sorry.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Motion is made to adjourn. All those in favor, say
Aye.
good night.
All right, good night.
Okay. Thank you very much.